How's it going, everyone, and welcome to today's video. This is a very special 2,000 subscriber Q&A, the first Q&A here on the Bold Cafe YouTube channel. I want to thank each and every one of you who has helped support me to get to this point, and I want to thank everyone who submitted your questions. I'm super excited to film this video. We're out here in the park in University City. Let's get straight into it with the first question, and I will try not to butcher your names. So the first question comes from a few people actually, but this was asked by Adrian War 89 and at Alan Gerard. They are asking, what's next for Bold Cafe? What are the future plans? So loads and loads planned for Bold Cafe. I've got about 6 or 7 more months here in China, and whilst I'm in China, I'm going to keep making the videos relating to razor reviews. We're going to try and keep finding you the best products. I'm getting more and more companies I'm contacting them and they're willing to send me their products. We got Remington on board, we got the Skull Shaver coming soon, we've had Omni Shaver, loads and loads of different razor products. So we're going to keep helping you find the best products available on the market. We're also going to have more podcast guests, of course, guests on the YouTube channel coming via Skype. So I really enjoy doing these podcast episodes, but what I'm most excited to do is when I get back in the UK, start doing these podcast episodes in person. So I'm going to set up a nice little podcast studio. I'm going to get a mobile podcast studio on the go, and we're going to start getting some in-person interviews. I mean, imagine this, right? I go interview a person, he can maybe come into the studio, we sit down, and maybe he's still struggling with that hair loss. We talk, I give some advice, maybe we could even get some callers to call in and, help this person get through it. And maybe just there and then, in that moment, he can sort of decide, you know what, Harry, you're right. And all the people here on the Bold Cafe YouTube channel are also right. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to shave my head. Let's do it now. I mean, imagine if we can get that moment on camera, share it with more people. I think that's such an impactful, a positive statement to share out, and that is what I'm super excited to get into once we're back in the UK. We're also going to be doing some street interviews. We're going to get some women involved, okay? We're going to ask their real opinions. What do they really think about men going through hair loss, okay? Is baldness an issue? Is it not an issue? We're going to get some real opinions from a variety of different people, including some women, of course. And we're going to have some products coming out. So I've been working on this Bold Cafe head butter for ages, working on a beard oil, and I was playing with the idea also of bringing out that razor. It's proving difficult. It's proving difficult to find quality products because I just want to bring out anything willy-nilly, okay? That's not what I'm about. I want to bring out quality, something that I would find useful, I would use, and that other guys out there can use too. So lots to come for Bold Cafe. Make sure you stay tuned. Question number 2, and this is a big one. Why do you live in China? That was asked by Gufo_Salamanca. Thank you for your question. Why do you live in China? An interesting one, right? I've lived in China now for about 4.5 years. In fact, no, this is my 5th year here in China. Now, the simple answer to this question is I came here to teach English, right? Why do you live in China? I came here to teach English, but it's a bit more of a long story than that. Originally, I planned to join the police force, okay? That was my dream. That was what I wanted to do for the longest time. And so I went to university and I studied biology because if you've got a degree, you can get promoted a lot faster, things like that. So I studied biology, and when I graduated, it was the time when in the UK we were having these budget cuts, and the police force, they just weren't recruiting. They weren't recruiting at all. And so I sent in my application to join the police force, and I was actually accepted through that, what they call the paper stage, but I was told I was going to have to wait 3 years before I could really make headway into joining the police force, right? Before I could have that sort of in-person interview. 3 years, I was 22, 23 years old at the time, and I thought, I'm so young, and what am I going to do? Just sit around in this job that I hate. At the time, I was working in a laboratory, like a stem cell place, because of course I did biology, so it kind of went along with that. A really sort of low-paid job, 9 to 5, nothing really inspiring at all. Same thing every day. And every day I was on these job websites, right? I was on these job websites looking for jobs that I could do, and nothing was standing out to me. I just didn't want to do anything else, and nothing was saying, calling to me I should do this. And literally every day applying for stuff, searching for stuff. And one day I came across this whole teaching English in China. And so I thought, what the hell? I applied, and they got back to me really quick, right? And as I had some interviews, some Skype interviews, the ball kept rolling, and it just happened so fast. And I thought, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. I'll try it. I'll go there. I'll move to China, I'll try it, and if I hate it, I can just come back. And luckily I had a lot of support from friends, from family. They just said, yeah, just go for it, man. And I went for it. And 1 year turned into 2 years, turned into 3 years. And now, yeah, it's been 5 years living out in China. It's been very valuable. I've learned so much, including Chinese, of course. I've just learned a lot about myself, about other people, about what I really want to do in life. It's just been a super valuable experience, but that is originally why I came to China. Now, next question here comes from Stanley York. Okay, Stanley, he's asking, what do you prefer, a shiny head or a not shiny head? So I am somewhere in the middle, right? I don't like my head to be super shiny, but I can accept what I call a natural shine. I don't stress about trying to get that ultimate matte look. I don't use baby powder or any of those things I've suggested in the past to kind of reduce the shine. I just use this bald head butter that I've spoken about so often, and it just gives me a natural head shine, right? Just natural, nothing too crazy, and that is the look that I like. Next on the list, next question comes from JWM_LCFC. He asks, what's your beard routine? Yes, so I've been growing this beard now for about 7 months, and my beard routine has stayed pretty simple. I use 2 products. I use beard wash and beard oil. Now, of course, I have been using minoxidil on my beard as a bit of an experiment, right, to grow that beard, because when I first started growing it, I just wanted to try it out, right? My beard wasn't the thickest, and I saw a lot of videos saying that you could do it, and I saw it for sale, and I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna try it, see if it really can grow an awesome beard. The whole minoxidil thing is a bit of a separate topic. Can it grow you an awesome beard? For some people, yes. Has it made an ultimate difference for me? I don't think so. I think I probably would have had a similar looking beard like this anyway. But apart from that, I use 2 products, like I said, beard oil, beard wash. I've actually got a little snippet of how I do it over on the Instagram, on the sort of highlights bit there. But yeah, I wash it with the beard wash once a week, twice a week maybe, not too often. And every day, sometimes twice a day, I put in my own beard oil. And that beard oil's got argan oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, and jojoba oil, okay, or is it jojoba oil? You tell me. It's got those 4 oils in it. A little bit of a coffee scent, because I like the smell of coffee. And yeah, I put that on every day, and it's awesome. Keeps it smooth, keeps it soft, helps me run the comb through it. And that is my beard routine. For all the beard haters out there, after the year, I am going to get the beard shaped up at a proper barbershop, and I think that is going to make for an awesome video. Where are you? Next question on the list comes from Parthic with 3 C's. He says, what's your skincare routine? So we've done the beard care routine. My skincare routine, again, is equally as simple, and I think this was the best advice given to me in regards to skincare. And it is, just use water, right? When you're in the shower, just use water to wash that face. And after I started doing this, I literally never had a problem with spots ever again on my face. Of course, you get the odd one, like very rarely, but my skincare routine's super simple. If you think about it, right, this is how it was explained to me. When you use that face wash like Clearasil or anything like that, it takes all those natural oils out of your skin, right? It makes your skin dry. And then to combat that, you then throw a load of other products on there, like moisturizers and stuff, and it all sort of clogs up and it messes up your natural sort of balance, right? Your body is very clever, and all those products kind of throw it out of whack. And if you just use water, it doesn't do that. It naturally can regulate itself. Now, this, of course, doesn't go for those guys really struggling with like hormonal imbalances where your skin abnormally produces too much oil and things like that. Is it called sebum, I think? not for those guys, but for anyone who has like a regular sort of face, is struggling with spots, try it, right? Just use water on that skin. And after I took that advice, I never had any problems. So yeah, skin care routine, I only use water. Now, the next question here comes from Little Voice Loud. They ask me, what is your take of bald man's opinion? Okay, what's your bald man's opinion on bald women? So I suppose, what's my opinion on bald women? I think a bald man, we're making strides, right? I think we're making strides in society where, you know, people are slowly more accepting of it. It doesn't mean that you're a neo-Nazi or things like that if you've got a bald head, right? You got celebrities and stuff rocking the shave look now. John Travolta recently joining the club. And I think for guys, it's slowly becoming more accepted. I think for women, we're still way back there, right? It's a much more shocking look if a woman has sort of chosen to shave her head. Maybe people are going to assume it's for religious reasons, or honestly, people are going to think you're probably a bit weird. You know, that's just the way it goes. That's just honesty, right? Not saying I think that, but I think people are going to look at you and think like, oh, what? Why has she done that? You know, if it's through choice. You know, things with chemotherapy, right, or alopecia, slightly different because that's obviously for health reasons. But if you choose to shave your head as a woman, obviously, you know, women aren't going to be experiencing male pattern baldness. You know, people are going to be a bit more shocked by it. What do I think of it? If you want that look, I really think it looks quite good. There's loads of chicks on Instagram with the shaved head and they look awesome. And of course, for health reasons, yeah, go for it. I think if you want to do that, it's the same. Just go for it, man. If you're confident with it, people will accept you and people will respect you. And that's my opinion on women with shaved heads. Or bald heads. So all the next questions are going to be coming from the communities tab over on YouTube. And again, thank you for your questions there. The first question here on the list says, will you start making fitness videos to help balding men have a fit body to complement their dome? Yes, so fitness content, right? This is something I've talked about in the past and I've made a little video talking about it. Fitness, a big part of my life, and it's something I feel passionate about. It's something I think I have a lot of experience in. I would say I'm the average guy. I've probably got slightly below average genetics for sort of building muscle. And so I think I've done quite well with, you know, what I've got. And I've learned tons along the way. I've had various coaches, sort of high-level coaches, online coaches, and I think I've learned a lot, and I would like to then pass what I've learned on to you guys or anyone who's interested. And so I will definitely be making more fitness content in the future and hopefully releasing my own fitness ebook tailored just towards us bald guys, because I think it's such a strong thing. It's such a useful tool in our armor to help us get through this hair loss worries. And this is a bit of a dilemma, a bit of a crossroads. How do I slowly bring in this sort of different content into my channel? That's why I really appreciate any sort of feedback or opinions that you guys give me down in the comments section. And if that is something that you want to see more fitness content, then make sure you let me know down in the comment section below. Because, you know, let's be honest, there's only so much we can talk about how to deal with hair loss, right? I'm going to have to slowly bring in some different things. The sort of hair loss center point is going to become a little bit more diluted. And so, yeah, any content that you want to see more of, whether it's fashion, fitness, even things like money and business, right? Things like that, relationships. Yeah, make sure you let me know in the comments and I will get onto it, because I really love making these videos, and fitness is something that I feel good about. And so yes, I will definitely be making more videos about fitness. Oh, there's a plane going on. Yo, Sanaga. Congrats on the 2K milestone, thank you. This guy suffered from hair loss when he started younger at 15 years old. He used to be very insecure. Right now he's 20 years old, studying physiotherapy in university. Nice one, man, good on you. Have you got any social life advice to university students that are bald or balding? Okay, social life. Okay, now I was kind of social in university, but I feel not social enough. So this goes for anyone really, bald or not bald. I think at university, say yes to a lot of stuff. Get involved in as much stuff as you can, whether it's like different clubs, different societies, different sports. Just get involved in as much stuff as you can. I also had a part-time job when I was at university, and I met people who I'm still, you know, the best of friends with now. And so yeah, university is such an awesome time. You know, don't try not to stress about all the work and money and things like that. Really get out there, experience as much as you can, meet as many people as you can. And in terms of a bald guy going to university, I personally think it's actually a really good opportunity for you to kind of be a role model for other people. You know, university, people are still kind of aging, they're growing, they're discovering themselves. And if you can turn up there and be a confident guy who's already dealt with something like hair loss, I really think that's a good opportunity for you to be like an awesome role model for other people who might be struggling with different things, you know, their own struggles, whether it's health concerns, I don't know, obesity, you know, maybe they've got struggles with relationships. You know, if you've already dealt with hair loss and people can see that you're confident, you're out there, you're getting involved in stuff, people are going to really look to you, probably going to come to you for advice and be like, wow, like you've done with this thing and you're so chilled about it and confident with it. Yeah, man, be a role model for other people, show them that they can also get through their struggles. And best of luck to you, man. Good luck to you with the studying. Hope you get a lot out of it. Get involved in as much stuff as you can. Okay, next question here on YouTube comes from Rayanex2. Great video, bro. Just one question. Are elongated faces, like oblong faces, suitable for bald head? Because I don't know if oblong head shape are masculine. So we've spoken a little bit more about our face shape, right? That strong jawline. Now, the shape of your skull is, I think, a lot less of an issue. I think it really comes down to that face, right? If you've got a weak jawline, if it's sunken in, then yeah, it's probably not gonna look as favorable. But like I've said time and time again, it is such a small percentage of guys who really just can't look good with a bald head. I'm talking like less than 1% of the population. I'm serious, right? Most people are gonna look awesome with a bald head, and an oblong face, yeah, no problem at all. So next question here comes from Sashimi Pirate. If a cure will be found, would you ever get your hair back? So would I take my hair back? Honestly, without hesitation, no, I would not take my hair back. I am confident the way I am. I like the way I look now, and this has given me an opportunity to help other people, and it is honestly so valuable to me to be able to offer something to anyone, even if it's just listening, right? Some people, they find kind of comfort in just sending me a message and saying, yeah, I just want to share this experience with you, and I listen and I reply and say good luck, and I feel good about that because I know that someone's getting something out of it. So hair loss for me personally has provided me with that opportunity. I literally enjoy doing this stuff so much now that if I took my hair back, I wouldn't have that anymore. And so no, I would not take my hair back. So next question here comes from Abdiaziz Hamza. I remember you said in the video that you had a girl and just found out you were balding. You were planning to propose. So how did that work out for you? Sorry for being personal. No, that's all good, man. So yeah, when I first found out I was losing my hair, I had just started dating this girl, right? And yeah, I was really worried. I was worried that, you know, she'd gotten used to this look that I had, which was kind of like just a typical foreign dude look, right? Sort of cropped hair. And, you know, she was young and sort of into her appearance and things like that. And yeah, I was worried. I was worried that she was gonna, you know, not be into that. But yeah, I proposed to her in New Year's time. She said yes. Everyone's happy. The family's happy. She's sat over there, but she doesn't want to be on camera. And yeah, that's all going ahead. We're moving back to England, like I said. We're going to hopefully make things work back in England, so we're going to get married, and so all that stuff worked out, no problem at all. I mean, I'd have to ask her, but I think if I was losing my hair, right, and feeling really insecure about it, and every day I was like, oh, worrying about this hair falling out, I think that would be much, much more of a bigger problem than just having no hair, because I have no hair, but it's not an issue. Like, I'm confident with it. I don't stress about it. I don't worry about it. And so I kind of think that's attractive in a way, you know, being confident in yourself. But if I was sort of all mopey and feeling very insecure, you know, not liking myself, I didn't love myself, I think that is where we would have problems. I think that is a very unattractive trait to a partner. And so if I was still in sort of that position there, you know, in that video where I was sat in my chair and I was sort of like, oh, I feel so awful and I'm going to be so ugly, then I think there might have been problems, because I think that's such an unattractive state to be in, you know, as a man. If you're insecure in yourself and you're feeling all down, don't get me wrong, you know, as a partner, you support someone through that. But if it was constant, I couldn't accept myself. I was always, you know, didn't want to go to be social and people to see me, then I think we could have had problems. But yeah, man, no problems there. I proposed, we got engaged, we're gonna get married, and everything's awesome. Next question comes from Steven. Have you ever thought about hair transplant surgery, or do you think you will just stay with the bold look? Yes, my man, I am going to stay with this bold look forever. I never ever considered hair transplant surgery. Things I sort of considered were just hiding it with like haircuts and hats. I never looked too far into hair transplant surgery. I didn't want to spend the money. That was one. I didn't want to spend the money, and I'd seen pictures and things of people with scars and regretting it later on in life. And so yeah, I never looked too far into the whole hair transplant thing. The bold look for me is here to stay. Okay, Dave Law says, congratulations, my bold brother. Thank you, man. My question has already been asked about how has it been bold, how has it affected dating. Yeah, so like I said, now I wasn't really in the dating scene, although I was kind of dating this girl when, you know, my hair first started falling out. And again, yeah, I think if I'd have been insecure about myself, I probably wouldn't have gone on dates, you know, because I would have been afraid that someone was going to see this bold patch. And God, I don't even want to think about it. You know, just if I think about how I was back then, going on dates, like, no way. I was insecure in myself, and asking someone on a date, and there would have been no way. I would have always been conscious, make sure they're in front of me, you know, they're here, make sure they never look at the back of my head, because they might spot that bold patch. God, that would have been a disaster. But thankfully, yeah, I managed to get through that. And I think, same, if there's any dudes out there who are in that stage where they're rocking this sort of bold patch, I don't think you're in the right mind to be yourself going on dates. But on the opposite of that, you know, when I get messages from these guys saying how awesome they feel after getting rid of that fading hair and just getting on with it, that is the time when you should start dating. You know, just crack on, take this new energy, take this new you, start going on dates, start meeting people, and let that sort of new positivity come out and share that with people. Get back in the dating scene, and that's what people like. People want to see someone who's confident in themselves, feels good, and people, yeah, they really feed off that. I know I do personally. So yeah, that's how that worked out. Next question comes from Daniel. He says, congrats, dude. Do you feel it is essential to have facial hair, stubble or beard when you have a bald head? Absolutely not. It's not essential. It's not required. You do you. I think there's something to that sort of what I would call the corporate bold look, right? That clean shaven everywhere, especially if you're going to dress smartly. I think that is such a clean classic look. Think Hitman, right? That sort of real suited and just super clean look. I think that is a great look for a lot of guys. I myself, I like that kind of more rugged, you know, like woodsy, urban, you know, with the beard and the bald head. You know, the clothes I wear, and to be honest, I'm in tracksuits a lot because I sort of go to the gym. If I'm going to the gym, I wear a nice comfortable tracksuit. I like that more sort of casual look. And for me, I'm trying out the bearded look. I think bit of stubble, nice beard, they all look good, to be honest. But is a beard required? Absolutely not. But I suggest people try it out. Try it out. If you like the beard, awesome, rock it. If you don't like it, the clean look is also very good. Just a few more questions left to go here. Again, thank you to everyone who sent in your questions. Why did you decide to live in China, and how many languages do you speak? So why did you decide to live in China? So I've said sort of why I decided to move to China, but why have I stayed for so long? And yet learning Chinese was a big part of that. After my second year, after I had done some traveling, I started to pick up the language. And you know, the whole sort of thought process behind learning languages in England is like, oh well, everyone just learns English, so I don't really need to learn Chinese. Not Chinese. You know, everyone learns English, so I don't need to learn another language. When I was in school and I learned French and Spanish, that was very much the way I thought about it. I learned Spanish just to pass an exam. I had no interest in learning another language because I'd never been exposed to it. You know, I had no reason other than a textbook and an exam, and so I wasn't personally, you know, motivated to do it. And funnily enough, after my first year in China, I went on a holiday to America, and I met so many people from around the world, like Denmark, Spain, Italy, Sweden, like all these different countries, Mexico, wherever. Oh, and their English was like perfect. They could just talk to us, me and my friends, in English perfectly, and then bam, they would switch to their own language, talking to their friends and stuff, and I was like amazed by it. I was really impressed by it, and I thought, God, like, we're so pathetic, like me and my mates, in terms of speaking languages. You know, all we can do is English, and that's it, and it's kind of embarrassing. Honestly, I was embarrassed. And so after my first year, I went back to China and I started cracking on with learning Chinese, because I had that sort of language environment there, and I could learn Chinese much faster, and I really dedicated myself to it. And then on the sort of second year, I went to the university, and I really enjoyed that. Again, I met awesome people at the university. The teachers were great, and because I was in China and I could use it and I could talk to people from this, you know, very mysterious country that was totally different to England, I had a real reason to do it. I had a real reason to study another language, and I found it motivating and inspiring, and I went for it. Yeah, and my Chinese is pretty good now. I passed the level 5, and the top level is level 6. I of course met my girlfriend, or my soon-to-be wife. I could speak to her family and everyone, and yeah. So I speak English and Chinese. No, I don't really speak any Spanish. Just those 2 languages, but 2 is enough, really. Much better than 1. And so yeah, anyone who wants to learn a language out there, go for it. I found it so valuable. Okay, next one. Now, this question comes from Bruce Wayne. Congratulations, Bold Cafe. Thank you. What do you think of tattoo hair, and would you get it done? So I'm assuming you mean the SMP, right? Scalp micropigmentation. Would I get it done? For now, my answer is no. I need to do more research into this SMP. I've had a lot of guys ask me about my opinion on it. Would I get it done? And the answer for now is no, I wouldn't get it done, because I think there's no need for it. I honestly just think there's no need for it. In my opinion, it doesn't really make much of a difference. If you've got that clean shaved head, I think it's a pretty similar look to when you get this SMP done. And for me personally, I feel like you can kind of tell that people have got it done, although a lot of people in the adverts and stuff say that you can't tell, but I really think you kind of can tell that someone's had it done. And yeah, I think there's no need for it. Oh, and that's the other thing. I think that if you get that done, you're still kind of hiding from it. If you can get scalp micropigmentation done and then just say to everyone, like, yeah, if this is not real, like, I had it, you know, tattooed in, and I love it. It looks good. So yeah, if you can do that, then fine, go for it. But I think if you get it done and you still don't feel comfortable enough to tell people, or you're still kind of, oh, I don't want anyone to find out that it's not real, then I think there's a problem, because you're still covering something up, and I think you're always going to have a problem that way. So that's my opinion on it, but I do need to know more. I'm really excited to learn more about it once I get back to the UK. We can go into some clinics, speak to some people who have had it done or are thinking of getting it done. Very excited to make those videos, and then I can talk more about scalp micropigmentation then. Next question here. What do you think about the distant future of patterned baldness? How do you see it affecting society when taking into consideration the increasing percentage of bald men, and the fact that men are rapidly going bald at younger ages? Do you think it's not going to be considered a hassle to deal with, or maybe there's going to be an outburst of demand for new medical solutions? Distant future of pattern baldness. So, interestingly enough, I've got a guy here in China. I met him in the gym. He's been using, I think it's very similar to PRP. It's a new sort of trial thing that's happening. And it seems like his hair has actually grown back a bit. I'm going to make a video specifically on that. We'll do an interview with him. His English is very good. And I'm going to film him doing the procedure. So, do I think there's going to be a cure for male pattern baldness? No, I don't think they're going to find a cure for male pattern baldness, because I think people aren't I think there's more money to be made in these sort of temporary solutions, because if there's no cure, there's always going to be people who need these solutions, unfortunately, and people are making a lot of money off it. Simple as that. But do I think that it's going to be sort of more accepted as people are getting bald younger? If I can have anything to do with it, then yes. You know, that is my goal. My goal here is to go big. I mean, I want people like these celebrities on the podcast. I want to start a new podcast sort of segment where I have super successful people. Like, you know, let's get Jeff Bezos on here. Let's get Jason Statham on here. Let's get all of those top guys on here that can tell me, that can tell you, can tell us, look, balding, hair loss did not hold me back in the slightest, and it shouldn't hold you back too. And I hope if we can get it out there, if we can grow, expand Bald Cafe, I'm going to do my best job to make that a reality where people just aren't bothered by it anymore, and it's just a very accepted thing. You know, just like getting taller is for a man, you know, or getting a tattoo now, you know. In most places it's like, whatever, yeah, you've got a tattoo, you know, oh yeah, you've got no hair. It's just a normal thing, maybe to the point where people even expect it. So that's what I hope will happen. This thing about people going bald are sort of younger, and a more higher percentage of people going bald, you know, we're seeing it happen here in China now, apparently. Again, that's super interesting, right? Why? Is it because of stress? Is it because of our environment, what we eat? A very interesting topic, another topic for another video. But yeah, I think there's never going to be a cure for it. Too much money can be made out of it, and if I have anything to do with it, we're going to get to the point where people don't even need that stuff. Hair transplant clinics, we're going to shut them down. They're going to go out of business. That is the plan. So our next question, keep up the awesome content, mate. Thank you. My question is, did you get a really itchy burning feeling in the hair loss areas? Did you get this too? And what's your opinion on inflammation and hair loss? Yeah, so inflammation and hair loss, I can't really comment much because I haven't seen enough sort of science on it. Inflammation and hair loss, is there a link and things like that? I mean, yeah, there's got to be, right? Some sort of link there. But I can't really comment any more than that. Did I get an itchy feeling? Yeah, I think I did. When it was first falling out, no sort of redness, but I used to sort of play with it a lot. And that could be sort of subliminal, but no sort of redness or really severe itching. But I do remember playing with it a little bit too much, and that could be from some slight irritation there. So guys, that is going to wrap up the Q&A. If you stayed through this whole video, I want to thank you. Please give the video a like. I really enjoyed your questions. I really enjoy interacting with you all. A very fun video for me to make. A nice little momentous occasion here at 2,000 subscribers. You know, we're just getting started here at Bald Cafe. So many planes going overhead, military planes. Maybe they're onto us. That is going to wrap up the Q&A here for our first ever Q&A. Again, I want to thank you so much for sending in your questions. I really enjoyed them. I love interacting with you guys. And if you made it through this whole video, then you are awesome. And please give this video a like. Again, you know, what can I say? Just thank you. You know, we're doing some awesome stuff here. Thank you for all of your messages on Instagram and your emails and everything. So many videos coming soon. We got a little crowd here behind me that you can't see just off camera. I want to thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.